So on today's menu we are having slow cooked stew because we have some Irish beef and it's reduced, so it needs using. So I've got that, and then I've got quite a lot of ingredients behind me as well. I am actually following a recipe off the computer. Ingredients include, this is from the Good Food, BBC Good Food. 1 onion, 2 sticks of celery, which is there. It's asking for 2 tablespoons of rapeseed oil, which I'm not going to use. Carrots, half, a couple of bay leaves, half a pack of thyme, which, as often happens, I don't have, but I do have some dried, so I'll use a bit of that. Tomato puree, which is, I think, possibly still, oh no, it's here. Tomato puree. Worcester sauce. And 2 beef stock cubes or stock pots, whichever you have, so a couple of those. 900 grams of beef or braising steak like skirt, and then 2 tablespoons of corn flour, which is optional, so I won't bother with that. There's an onion. A bunch of small parsley, again I don't have that, and then it says to serve buttery mash, which I'm going to put loads more veg with it, to be honest with you. I have got some mash, so I'll probably use some mash as well, but I've got other things like the leeks. It then becomes a free-for-all with me, so I tend to follow the recipe and then I think, oh, I wonder what else I can stick in there. So I've got some leeks, so I'll probably use some of those because they need using up. And then I'll just see how it goes. I actually don't think I'll bother putting anything else in. But I'll just wait and see what it tastes like, and if I think it needs Tabasco, because often when I cook and I think, oh, I need something, I always reach for the Tabasco. So you never know, you might see Tabasco a bit later on. But I'm just going to start by chopping up some of the veg to begin with and frying it off. Now, before I get started with the frying, I've just boiled the kettle and I have 600 ml of boiling water in this jug. That's for the stock cubes. So I'll do that first because that way it sort of gives it time to melt. Two beef stock cubes. Get a little whisk to that as well. Yeah, this recipe, I mean, I know probably for quite a lot of people, when they're using a slow cooker, they just chuck everything straight into the slow cooker. They don't bother frying anything off. But this recipe actually calls for it to be fried first. And to be honest with you, often when I do slow cooked foods like stews, I will fry all the ingredients first because I think it does help with the flavour. It brings all the flavours out when they're already, you know, the vegetables and the meat and stuff has been sealed or sautéed. I do think it helps. So it does mean it makes it a bit more of a faff, when really probably what you want to do is just lob it all in and leave it. But I think just making that a little bit extra effort does help. So, but up to you, don't have to. Right, so that's my stock set to one side. Start with an onion, and basically they're saying for it to be, you know, chunky. So I'm quite into chunky because, you know, less cutting makes it a lot quicker. So start with the onion. There we go. I am using, at the moment, this is what I'm using because it's all I've got. I think this is probably send a bit higher than fry light. And it's olive oil as well, which is not the best thing to use because olive oil tends to burn. But you know. So yeah, just be aware that there will be sins attached to that oil if you to use it. So onions, carrots, just chuck it all in. It calls for 3 carrots. Well, I'm just using what was left in the fridge, so I only have like small carrots really, so I'm just using what I've got, which is fine. I mean, it's only for 2 of us anyway, so if we end up eating all of it, that's fine. If we have any left over, that's also fine. So as long as there's enough for 2 of us, because Abby's away at college at the moment, so it's just me and Laura. There we go. In fact, actually, Abby's got she's looking for a placement because she's doing childcare, so she needs to have a placement. So she's actually going along for an interview today to try and get a placement. Well, obviously they do a lot of like practical, working with children directly. So what time is it? Yeah, in fact, she's got about half an hour before she's throw it around, try and retrieve it. Need it. So yeah, I'm quite nervous to see how she does with that if she gets this placement. Anyway, 2 sticks of celery. So it's probably just as well Abby's not here because Abby really doesn't like celery. Though celery is a bit of a funny thing, I think, because it can be quite strong flavoured, and it's got a habit of repeating on you sometimes. Just get rid of the stringy bits. Turn this down a bit because it's there we go. Right. I suppose you could use celery salt if you haven't got any celery to get the same flavour-ish. So at this point, although this is not part of the recipe, I'm going to add leek. So just top this. And I'm going to halve it because what happens often is you get a lot of dirt. The soil gets in between the layers, so I need to give this a quick wash. I'm going to do that now. My knife needs sharpening. I'm going to add that. I'll give it a bit more flavour. I think leeks are a bit, although they're kind of oniony, they're a bit more subtle. More subtle than onions. The other thing I've tried with leeks, I saw this on telly, I think it was an American cookery programme. And it was out in, oh, it was out in, I can't remember where it was, but it was one of these places where they have lots of barbecues. You know, big barbecue places that they do in America. And they were putting like whole leeks straight in the oven and just leaving them to cook for like hours at a time. And you'd think, oh, don't like the sound of that. But actually I did try it with leeks in the oven. And obviously the outer skin gets quite burnt. But the inside's really lovely, really nice. Right. So I'm going to let that cook for a few minutes. And then we're going to add a couple of bay leaves, which are here. 1 and 2. Do those. A bit of thyme, although not too much, because I find thyme to be a little bit overpowering, to be honest. So that'll be enough. Teaspoon. I think it's 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. Yeah, 2 tablespoons of tomato puree. Well, you know, I tend to just, you know, don't bother using tablespoon, just, you know. Freehand, for want of a better word. Go back in the fridge. What else do we need? We need some of this. And we need 2 tablespoons of Worcester sauce. I don't know what it is about tablespoons, but whenever I open the drawer, there's never any in there. The spoons are always on the drainer. So 2 tablespoons of this. Again, probably if I was doing this alone, I probably wouldn't bother measuring it. You know, and the chances are that I might put more in a bit later. Don't know yet. Have to wait and see. And then, oh, never lick a spoon that's got Worcester sauce on it. Oh, tart. Right. And then you pour your, so I have to read again now. Add your 600 ml of boiling water and stir. So add this into here, just for a second. Get rid of that because I don't need that. Now, I'm going to turn my slow cooker on. Give this a little mix. Don't think it looks too bad. It smells quite nice, must admit. And everything, if I just, hopefully you can see, just over there. I'm going to go into the slow cooker. Escapee leak. Never mind. Right. Let's see if I can lift this without, you know, making a mess. Always fun. Here we go. In it goes. Like so. Then that's going to be for the meat. So I'm not going to mess about with the meat. I'm not going to try and remove any fat because as far as I can tell, there really isn't very much of it. Yeah, so my phone's just died, so I've had to put the charger on, and it's all at a funny angle now, but hopefully it'll be fine. So I'm just cooking the meat off, browning the meat off. I suppose at this stage, if you want, you could firstly dust this in flour if you wanted to. Here comes Heidi. Yeah, you've been a pest, aren't you? Yes, you are. She hasn't left me alone today. What was I saying? So, you could dust this in flour if you wanted to, but of course it would be sand. That would help thicken your stew. The other thing that you could do is also cook it in batches rather than trying to cook it all in one go, because, you know, overcrowding the pan and everything. But it's fine. What's the matter with you? You've got biscuits, haven't you? Hey? She's this cat here. You probably, oh, there she is, there, you can see her. She's rescue, aren't you? Yeah, you'll rescue. She was found in a holiday, you know, one of these holiday complexes where they have caravans and things, and they had a laundrette in there. And she was found in the laundrette with a litter of kittens, weren't you? And she was only 18 months old at the time. So she was a kitten herself, really, weren't you? Yeah, she said, stop talking about me, feed me instead. And she was taken to a shelter, animal shelter, and all her kittens went straight away. And Heidi was left, and she was neutered because they neuter all their animals. And so she was looking very sorry for herself with a big shaved side and a little scar. But I just saw her and I fell in love with her straight away, didn't I? Yes, I did. I don't know. You know when you just know, you just get this sudden connection, like instantly. It's like love at first sight, wasn't it? For me, anyway. I don't know about you. No, that sounds like a no. And yeah, she is now nearly 14, aren't you? Aren't you? You still act like a kitten, don't you? Yes. You want some biscuits? Okay, I'll give you some biscuits. Be right back. Okay, there we are. She's happy now, I think. I think she's happy. Anyway, she's quiet, so there we are. Just put those back. I'm going to get myself out. Sorry, you can see my feet at the moment. I'm very sorry. Get myself a can out. So, yeah. Okay, so Laura's just phoned me as well, so the battery's almost flat now. So I'm just finishing off, firing off this meat, which pretty much done. So I'm going to turn that off and I'm going to add that to the pot, which is over there. Okay, so it's looking like this right now. Throw that all in. There we are, doesn't look too bad. What I am going to do though, again, not part of the recipe, just one of those things that I like to do. I'm going to put a handful of barley in. That will help. Because I'm not using corn flour, so hopefully the barley will help to just thicken things up a little bit. And I always find barley a really nice addition to a stew or a soup. So something that I always put in. And I'm just going to put the lid on that, and I may add some black pepper, which I'll do in a sec. Put the lid on and I'll just leave it to cook away. So after all that cooking, it's kind of made me quite hungry. So I've just made myself a little sort of snackette, if you like. And it consists of Ravita, which is the dark rye. I'll put the sins up as well because I've already had my healthy extra B. So, there's also 2 of the light laughing cows, which would be part of my healthy extra A. And for speed, there are pickled onions and tomatoes. And what are tomatoes without salt? So there's salt on there as well. So that's going to be my lunch. This has been going for about 5 hours on high. And I've tested the meat and it's fairly soft, really. So that's that. That's all very nice. Laura's brought home some sprouts, some little ones, and we've got some tender stem broccoli in the fridge. So I'm gonna chop these up and I'm gonna pan fry them because it's gonna be quicker. Because ta-da!
I'm home.
Yeah, but you've also got to go out again tonight.
Yeah.
Because you're going to
have a CT
scan tonight.
7, it's late, isn't it?
Yeah, that's a bit weird, isn't it? So I need to get on with this really, don't I?
It smells lovely. It really does.
Okay.
Ooh.
You've got to
look at this.
Yes.
It smells like the bomb.
Is it? What, the one that's gone off?
No, I mean it smells like amazing.
Oh right, okay.
Thank you, Catherine.
That's all right then.
We're getting all steamed up, look.
But you're referring to something else?
No, it's a positive term.
Okay.
Thank you, Catherine.
Oh, I just tripped over the cat's thing.
Oh, and I was filming the plate.
Right.